Hi friends, Tracy.bish here, Stampin' Up Demonstrator in Central Victoria, Australia. Welcome to my channel and welcome to an alternative to June's Paper Pumpkin, which is Bikes and Blooms. These are the three cards that are in the kit. You can make 3 each of the cards, or you can make 1 each of the cards and then have a whole rest of a kit to create some alternatives, which is what we're going to do today. So I thought I would take one of the card bases and actually make a box today, which is super fun. Because 2 of our card bases have a strip or a different coloured image on each of them, I've gone with the Calypso Coral. Not that I really think that that looks like Calypso Coral, but we're going to go with that one. And I do think that we may use an envelope to help decorate it. So I've gone with this one here. It's got the Calypso Coral pinky colour stripes. So I'll be using that one as well, I think. And decorating, I'm not 100% sure with, but you can decorate with me as we go and we're going to have a lot of fun. So this will be a premiere video. So if you're watching this live, I will be in the chat section right now chatting with you, so please come and join in, say hi, let me know where you're watching from, and if you're not watching it live, leave me a comment in on this video and let me know where you're watching from. Okay, so I thought we would use this one. This is the American size card, so 8.5 by 5.5, I think it is. Yeah, 8.5 by 5.5, and we're going to create a box using this card base. Okay, we are going to go with the 8.5 piece first. We're going to score at 1.5. Three and a half. 5 inches, 7 inches, and that should leave our last one at 1.5 inches. Yes. Okay, turning it to the 5.5 inch side, we're going to score at 1.5 on each side. So 1.5. Flipping it over, and 1.5. So I'll go through those measurements for you again. On the 8.5 inch side, we're going to score at 1.5, 3.5, 5 and 7 inches. On the 5.5 inch side, at 1.5 on each end. And you will notice that the, I don't know how well that will turn up there. There is that extra score line, which is the center of our card. We're just going to ignore that. We're not going to fold on that because that's going to be the back lid closure on our box. Okay, so let's fold and score on all of those score lines that we've personally made, leaving that center score line completely alone. It's just going to have to sit there and not be folded. Okay, so we've burnished all those score lines. Let's bring in my little scissors and we're going to cut up on each of those score lines. It's easier to see. I don't know, neither probably in that camera because of my light, but I'll work with what I can see best. This one, turning it to the other side, we're going to do this exact same. So just cutting up those score lines that we've just created. So I love little treat boxes that are super cute to decorate. Okay, now the larger rectangles we are not going to touch. So let's just fold those down. There are 3 square images and they're the ones that we're going to just notch out. So I'm just going to take a little wedge out on either side. These are going to be our closures of our box, and by just taking out just that little fraction, it will help the box sit together a little bit better, and we don't have things sort of floating out. So as you can see, not a real lot. Let's do the same on the other side. I'm just going to pop up the large rectangle, and we're just cutting the squares. So I looked through my colors before coming on this video to see what colors, what pinks would suit this a little bit better. To me, I don't see it as a Calypso coral, because let's bring in Calypso coral. I don't see that that is the same color, although I couldn't really match it with a pink either, so it's super funny. But so I've gone with, we'll be using the Calypso coral, but I'm not 100% happy with it. So if you think that you know a color, maybe there's a retired color out there that would go with this color a little bit better, let me know. Okay, so we have all those score lines ready to go. One of our ends is going to be the opening, or the lid of the box, and we want to make a little thumbnail hole for that. And I'm just going to grab one of my punches. It's going to be 2-inch. It really doesn't matter what you have. You just want to line that up and take a little wedge out. So I'm sort of lining for the center. I'm lining the edge of the punch, so I've got a little bit over each side and it's equal on our tabs here. That way I know that it's going to be central, and I'm also looking to see how much of the circle I am punching out as well. So once I'm happy, that gives me that little thumb hole. Okay, now to pop this together, so this is going to be our lid. These pieces down the bottom are going to close up and come up to the sides. So we're going to add adhesive to all of those little squares, and you could use liquid glue, tear and tape, Seal Plus, whatever you prefer. For 3D projects, I really like using tear and tape, so that's what I'm going to use today. Now let me know, did you get the Bikes and Blooms Paper Pumpkin kit? Right now, if you didn't get it, you have missed out. You only have till the 10th of the month to get the kit. So once we sort of start showing the kit, once they're actually sent out, the kit's no longer available. So you have to subscribe before the 10th. If you subscribe on the 11th of the month, then you're actually subscribing for the following month's kit. So we have just been told the next 3 months kits, and you know, I didn't print those out to share with you, so I'll try and remember to print that out and pop a graphic up. Let me write that down, 840, and I'll try and put a graphic up here on the screen so you can see the next 3 months. Honestly, next month is a birthday kit, which, you know, who doesn't need birthday cards all the time? So to have a kit just for birthdays, I think that's absolutely amazing. They're also easel cards, so they're actually fun fold cards. So you really are not going to want to miss out on next month's kit. So there is a link in the description of the video if you're in Australia and you would like to purchase the subscription. You can use that link and purchase through me. Also, because the next 3 months is sort of like a start of the 3 months, we also have a new die add-on set, which is super amazing. And again, I don't have that for you to share with you, but this was last 3 months kit, so including this one, which we probably will use today as well. But these coordinate with the last 3 months of Paper Pumpkin, so April, May and June, and we are doing the same next month. I don't know whether it's always the case, but I love these little add-on dies that you can add to really enhance that kit. Okay, so I've taken the backings off the base of the box, and all I'm doing now is I'm taking this square tab, actually rectangle tab, and I'm lining up the edges there. And there's no wiggle room with this tear and tape, so you've got to make sure that you get it in the right spot before popping it down. Moving to the back of the box, and we're just going to do the same thing, line up that that side. Now, one thing I probably could have done is I could have stamped the box, and wouldn't that have looked really good? Anyway, we didn't do that, so we're just popping the box together. I sort of wish that I had now. Oh well. Okay, so we have our little box there, and as you can see, the that's the middle score line of the card base, but it's at the back of the box. You're not going to see it, and it is fine. Okay, so we can take our side pieces off now. I'm really thinking about that stamping of the box. So if you make this and you stamp the box, please take a photo of it and share it with me. Let me know what it looks like. Okay, so for this one, we are lining up our tab that has the adhesive on with this side of the lid, like so. Tear and tape is such a good adhesive for 3D projects. And there we have. How cute is this little box? Absolutely stunning. Okay, now let's bring in that envelope. So that's this one here. I want to add, you know, a little bit of splash of colour to the front of the box using this striped pattern. It's such a subtle colour that we might not see a lot of it, but maybe we could add some stamped images with some added pieces as well. Okay, so let's cut this down. When I'm using my envelopes for projects, I like to cut the ends off first, like so, and the other side. Okay, so I want to add a little bit of this, it's not really DSP, but the envelope paper, a little bit of pattern to the inside of the box and also the top of the box. So for that, we are going to add, I'm just going to cut this top piece down, get rid of that. And I'll cut down this score line as well because we won't want that. So let's pop that to the side. We can use that on another card. Okay, so for the inside of the box, gonna need 2 7/16 by 1 15/16. So let's go this way, 2 7/16. So 1, 2, 4, 6. So that's a little mark before the 2.5. And then 1 15/16 is that last little notch before the 2. Okay. And that's going to give us our inside. Oh, that looks cute. It's very, very light, as it looks like sort of white, but that's nice. And I think we're going to do 2 of those. So 2 and 5 by 1 17/16. And that's going to go on the top of the box. Okay. So it gives me a couple of little strips, pieces left over. Now, I think we need to do some sort of decoration along the side. So I can't do it at the front to the back. We're going to have to go from side to side. So for that, I think I might use the Calypso Coral cardstock. And let's have a quick look. Sorry about this, guys. So that's 3. So 5.5 by, let's say, how wide do we want it? Maybe 1 inch. 5.5 by 1 inch. And I think we will get out our stamps and stamp that. So that'll go over. This is going to go over the top. And then we need something that we can do a little bit in the center. So we can stamp and add our graphic. And I think we're going to use one of the vases or the planter pots that go on the bike for the front. So I think we might use white for that, just plain basic white. And for that we might do, let's go 2 by 1 3/4. And you know, yeah, okay, so that was 2 inches by 1.5. Okay, we've sort of got things sorted. Let's start decorating. So I do want to stamp that belly band, and let's have a look through our kit what we want to decorate with. So I was initially thinking that either one of these or one of these, but I did like these because then I could use maybe even the other die cut, so this piece here, stamp some flowers and add some flowers there, or I could use the die set and die cut some of these flowers and add to that as well. So we might look at both of those options and see how that looks. But I do like that look. I'm just sort of thinking what else is in here that we could maybe use. Just wondering whether that might be a better option. I do like that. Okay, we're taking the white piece off. We're not using that. We're going to use this die cut piece. And this goes really well with that. So I'm just wondering, this is going to go over the top. This. That's going to cover it too much. That would be a waste, wouldn't it? So take that away. I do like the look of that. Okay, so let's get some stamping done, and then we can keep decorating as we go. So with this one, let's bring in, I'm using the Calypso Coral. Now that is the ink spot in the kit. You don't get a full ink pad, you do get a stamping spot, so this one here, but I like using my full pad. Okay, so for this one we do need, there's 2 stamps two flower stamps in the stamp set. So we have this one here and this one here. This larger one is going to be used for this die cut, which I'm pretty sure we might use that. But I think I might use, yeah, I think I might use this one as well for the background, because that's a nice big bold flower. So we're just going to, this is tone on tone. We're stamping Calypso Coral with Calypso Coral cardstock. And we're just going to randomly stamp all those flowers. Oh, I didn't stamp that very well, but that'll be fine. Randomly stamp them on this little belly band. So I did the other weekend go to Costco and picked up this huge bag of lollies, candy, whatever you want to call them, for Halloween. I'm going to do Spooky Spectacular this year, and for that I needed, let's think for a second, Tracy, that's that way. I needed some lollies to be able to use for my projects, so these would go really well in there. So it's really hard to see white on white. I'm going to try and line up this as best as I can. Yeah, that's pretty good. Okay. Now, what else do we want to do? Do we want to ink these edges up or leave them? I think inking would look good, but I'm going to have to do a little bit of a light hand because otherwise it'll be too much, I think. Let's do the opposite side. Yeah, I think that'll look nice. So we're just using the mini blending brushes, doing the very edges. Obviously this envelope piece with the pink is so light that it does need a little bit of a hand, I think, to be able to see it. So even up close, camera's not really focusing all that well. Oh, and I've just done something with my camera. All right. Doesn't want to. I'll move my camera a little bit. There we go. Okay, so we've got a little bit of the stamped edging. I think that actually turned out really well. Now we might come back in, actually we do have to come in and stamp our sentiment. And there's a couple of different sentiments that we can use, but I think we'll pop these features together first. And I could have actually scored these because I think it's 1.5, but it's okay. We've just creased the edges, and I'll bring the bone folder in and give that a good burnishing. Okay, so let's pop that on, making sure that I'm at the front of the box, and I'm going to just use some liquid glue for this. Everyone watching, do you love making little treat boxes? Honestly, I think fun folds and 3D are my favorite things to create. So I think with the paper pumpkin alternatives, instead of focusing mainly on cards, I really want to do a lot more focusing on some 3D items and, you know, little gift ideas. So okay, so there we have that. We're going to pop this one down over the top, and we could pop it up with dimensionals, but yeah, we won't. We'll just do liquid glue. Now there's a couple of sentiments that we could use on this one. There's thank you, have a lovely day, and best wishes. I think for a little treat like this, thank you would be a really nice idea. So I can do it either of two ways. I can have that cut side at the very edge of the box, like so, or I could have it that way. I think that way is probably the better way. This is going to be popped up, so I might pop some dimensionals on that to start with, and then I'm not sure if we're going to cut out those little flowers that we just stamped down, or if we're going to use the die cut and cut them. But I think we're going to go with thank you for our sentiment. So what I need to do is I need to do some partial stamping. We have the one word thank you. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to ink up the first word, clean my stamp, and we have photopolymer stamps, so this is so easy to do. You can see straight through our acrylic block. So I've got my ink there. Let's stamp that down. Perfect. And I'm going to give my scrubber. And I'm using Stamping Mist. This is amazing cleaner. It not only cleans really, really well, it also conditions your stamps. Your stamps are going to live a lot longer by using that. Okay, get rid of any moisture there, and just inking up the U. And we're going to pop that down there as well. That's fine. All right. So I'm thinking I do want to have some die cut flowers, maybe even some, there it is, maybe even some butterflies. I could put some butterflies on. Let's bring in my scissors. I don't want to just pop that down like we have done on the card. So I'm just gonna use my scissors and quickly fussy cut these flowers out, which they look pretty easy to do. So do a bit better job on that one. Just give them a good definition all around. Let's do the large one. So if you have Paper Pumpkin, did you purchase the add-ons, the add-on dies? I think, you know, they were very much well worth the money. It's also a fun little die set that you can keep reusing, just like our stamps in the Paper Pumpkin kit. Especially with all the great sentiments that come in the Paper Pumpkin kit. They're fantastic. Oh, I like that. Okay. Now we can either die cut, I think we're going to go with the butterflies. And will we die cut some Calypso coral? I think we might. I'll run that through really quick. So this die cut has 3 different sized butterflies. The die also has 3 different sized flowers. So flowers, butterflies, a sign, and the word wonderful, as well as the signpost. So cool. Okay, I can cover up that little tiny mistake there with that. Okay, so let's start adding these down. I'm gonna adhere this one down with some liquid glue. See all that wiggle room you have? Perfect. This little die cut. So there's actually lots of die cuts in this kit, but this one's a cute cute one to go on the front of the bike, but look how good that looks. And then I think some of these will pop up with some mini dimensionals. And this kit actually comes with mini dimensionals, but my desk is a little bit of a mess at the moment. And they're somewhere, I'm just not sure where. So let's save ourselves a little bit of time. And this will also give it a little bit of that 3D pop-up as well. Or you could use some dimensionals as well. So the 3 smaller flowers, we're going to add the mini glue dot for a little bit of extra dimension. And that large flower, I'm just going to pop down straight. Yeah. Okay, so let's add this one just here. And then this one. Like so. Gives some great pop up there. Lovely. And then for our butterflies, I think I'll add a mini glue dot on the center of this one as well. Gives it a little bit dimension and pop up. I think these mini glue dots are a little bit old because they're not quite as sticky. And see how I've just pulled up the wings on the butterfly? So cute. Don't like where that one is, so let's move that one over just a fraction. There we go. And for the smaller butterflies, I think I'm just going to add a little bit of liquid glue. In this kit, there's also those silver brushed butterflies. They would look really good as well. Before we get too further along, I do need to just add some adhesive down for that inside panel. Much better than just plain white. But you could also get away with not putting this in, or you could use just, you know, Calypso Coral cardstock as well. And I think something would look really nice in there, and that something would be a nice butterfly. So I'm just going to do another quick die cut through, and we can add that butterfly in the center. And I think the large one would look really good. Yep. Just going to do it down the bottom corner. Move some of this mess out of the road. How cute is that? Close our little box up. A little thank you box. Sweet idea. Let me grab some sort of lolly to pop inside. I wonder if the ring pop will fit. It's a pretty big. Oh, just a little bit too big. I didn't look at these too well, and they are all like sour lollies. So okay, a couple of trolley lollies will fit in there. Who wouldn't like that as a little thank you gift? Obviously, you can fit whatever you like inside. But what a sweet little gift. There's that centerfold for the card, but you really don't notice it. If you don't like it, you can also put maybe a panel on the back and the front as well, which would look really nice. All right. Thank you so much for joining me today. I really hope you've enjoyed today's project and the alternative card for June's Bikes and Blooms paper pumpkin kit. If you have enjoyed today's video, I would love it if you gave me a thumbs up, shared this video with your friends and family, subscribe to my channel, and left me a comment if you're not watching through the premiere and chatting with me here. I will be back with another alternative project, so yeah, please make sure that you've subscribed. Make sure you hit that notification bell so you're notified when I do another video. And I'm so excited with this month's kit. We're going to have some fun with some great cards and projects that are coming out for you. So cute little project. And yeah, thank you so much for spending some time with me today, and I'll be back again really, really soon. All right, everyone. Bye.